What's up, everybody? It's Soren Baker here on Unique Access. Today we're joined by Big Trey D. Thank you for coming through, sir.
For sure with it.
Yeah, man. So you have been in the game many moons, but you have a new project around the horizon, man. So what's the title?
Title is Third Coming.
And why is that?
Well, I'm Trey D, you know.
A lot of threes going on.
Yeah, three, you know, and Jesus was the second coming, and he brought the truth and revelations that was needed for that time. And you know, I wouldn't go so deep as to say that's what I'm actually doing, but in hip hop, it is.
And why do you say and feel that way?
Because, you know, now it seems like all you need is a pretty active beat and, you know, a couple of repetitious phrases that can be repeated by, you know, the masses, and, you know, there you go. You know, it's like a music is more cookie cutter now, you know, and it doesn't really speak from the perspective of the totality of the artist anymore. You you get your, you know, party here, you know, I'm rich, you know, I fuck your bitch, you know, in some part of my language, you know. But you know, it's just all over the place as far as like flossing, and you know, the substance really isn't there. You know, what is you telling me about, you know, what I'm looking at, you know, down the road 3 years from now, 10 years from now? Where did your struggle begin? How did you learn what you learned? What can you teach me? You know, and it's not so much that it's an educational album, but it just takes you through different phases of my life and different times, you know, when I was thinking from a dark perspective, you know, till now, you know, I have a lot more hope and faith because I've been through so much, and I've returned to be able to be a witness that, you know, you can survive adversities and still climb your way back to the top.
Well, I think obviously you're a testament to that, given your longevity and a lot of things that you've had to overcome in your life. And I think, you know, your new single, you have OT Genesis on it, and I think it's a testament to your staying power, your lyricism, your pedigree, and all that you have a brand new artist essentially that's willing and down with you and being on your single. Right. So how did you guys develop your relationship and manifest it into working together?
I actually was getting aboard the nightlife in LA, and I was out with Snoop and Warren G one night. I believe it was Warren G's birthday, and we were at the Supper Club. Okay. And he was doing his hit Coco. He had just came out, you know, where it had been out, and he was performing this hit Coco, and then, you know, I found out that he was from Long Beach, and I was like, wow. So I met him down the street months later at the Playhouse. Okay. And he was in the VIP with Snoop, and you know, Snoop Dogg and Percy introduced me to him, and you know, he just had a nice demeanor, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, and you know, I was like, okay, cool. So I asked my wife, actually, who was Cognac from the Doggy's Angels, I asked her, she produced the track as well, and I asked her, you know, who would she want on her album, and he was one of two people that she mentioned. So I reached out to him and expressed that to him, and I told him, you know, I'd also, you know, like to get a collaboration with him, and he was like, you know, yeah, for sure. He was out the country at the time, so when he came back, he got in touch with me, came to the studio on time, laid a hot verse, did something for my wife that night, you know, and you know, we've been in touch since then, and you know, I got a lot of love and respect for him, and you know, I'm giving him a lot of guidance on how to avoid a lot of things that I ran into in the game, you know, not only in the game but in the streets as well, you know, being a celebrity and still being connected to the streets. So I look at him like a little brother. Okay. I really got a lot of love for OT.
Well, that's good, man. And then on top of that, as we've talked about over the years, both on our own and in interviews and, you know, radio show with Exhibit when we did that and everything, you know, you have so much experience in the streets, in and out, being incarcerated and everything. So is there a particular song or two that you focus on the album of kind of explaining how to overcome and have faith in the midst of all the trials and tribulations?
Well, the final song I have on there is called "This World," and basically I'm touching on a lot of subjects that, you know, black people are dealing with today, with mass incarceration and you know, just complications of, you know, being employed, and, you know, just their focus, like I was saying earlier, is more on the floss aspect of things as opposed to the longevity, setting yourself up for tomorrow, and, you know, being able to provide for your progeny beyond just, you know, you having a nice car in the house. What about your children? You know, what about their children? What are you really trying to set up to leave as a legacy besides your music? So I touch on it on that, and I believe it's just the features. You know, I have a you know, a diverse lineup on there. You know, I have Prodigy from Mobb Deep and Technique on the song with me together. Okay. You know, I have DJ Quick and Rodney O on the song with
me.
Yeah, Problem and Crooked Eye, you know, King Crooked. We, you know, Superfly and Snoop Dogg. Mm-hmm. You know, me and Exhibit go back to back on one. Me and my wife go back to back on one. You know, it's just got a cat, Smokey Lane from Compton. It's just like, good music is really combining flavors to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just you and the producer, you guys are merging your flavors together to create something. So when you interact with other artists, you get their perspective and their take on music, as well as mixing it with your own. So the creativity speaks from them and you as well to create something new.
And then I've had the fortune of being in the studio when you were recording, like the anthem with Exhibit, for instance, that we did.
Yeah.
But that made me think of this, which is, you've been in groups, you've been a solo artist, and you've obviously done, you know, features on tons and tons of records. So now that you've been in the game for so long and you've done all these different types of records and projects, now when you do a solo album and you do have guests, how have you seen that it's changed, or has it changed at all mentally as a songwriter, as an artist, when you're crafting a song versus maybe when you're in the East Siders, or maybe when you did the General album, or maybe when you're doing a mixtape? Now is it different, like crafting a song or working with people? Like,
I don't approach it differently. Okay. I mean, I know now people, you know, do a lot of email verses, and you know, I'm gonna send you this and send me your verse back, and I don't really engage in that too much. I like, you know, let's get in the studio. You know, if you write on your phone, hey, I see you, you know, technology, stay up on technology.
Oh, you still got the yellow pen and pad, man.
I get the pen and pad, because I might not like that half of that second line, and I don't want to go back and, you know, chop and paste and then be reading it, trying to stay on the mic and keep the light on while I'm reading it. So yeah, I'm traditional and old school with it. So, you know, I just approach the features as not who's hot, who has a name that I can, you know, put on my album and get me more, more listeners and, you know, more sales. It's like, who do I feel?
Right.
You know, would match on this song. I mean, if it's a song that I feel like I need to go all the way in on, then that's what I'm gonna do. A good artist, I don't think a good artist tries to be trendy.
Okay.
With who's hot, and, you know, I need to get a song with him and I need to do that. Okay, if that's your motivation, if you like being new and current or whatever, I can accept that. But I believe a true artist feels another artist in his spirit, you know, like, man, I love to get a song in with him, and, you know, I know it'd be, you know, I get people tell me all the time, like, man, I can't wait till you and Dub C do a song, man, I be like, we did a song on the Gang Related soundtrack.
A few years ago.
Oh, what, man? When you in Scarface, man, I'm waiting on you in Scarface. I was like, yeah, and it's good to hear. It make you, because those are artists that I respect as well.
And I think one of the reasons they respect you, and I know that I do, is that over the years, one thing that I've always grown to appreciate, and I appreciated it early, but I've grown even more, is that most people have the perception of you as super gangster and all that, which they should. But beyond that is that, like, the lyricism and the style that you have and that you're able to bring into it, I think separates you, and I think has allowed you to have a much longer career than most artists. So on the new project, what song do you think lyrically that you are really flexing and going all the way with it, maybe more than others?
I think the song with myself and Snoop Dogg and Superfly, I anchored that, and
what's that one called?
It's called A Hold Up.
Okay.
And I think it's like I don't know how many BPM Superfly made that, maybe 102 or 3.
Okay.
And Snoop Dogg, when he did his verse on there, he said, man, I had to slow my shit down because y'all was rapping way too fast.
Oh, yeah?
So, I don't think people really heard me really like chop like that. You know what I mean? And I can, I kind of like did it on Wake Up a little bit on the Dogfather album, but, not really like rapping and nonstop. So I think I kind of like went in and the lyrical content as well, but the style and the lyrical content on there, I think it'll catch today's crowd like, oh wow, somebody still can go in.
Right. Yeah. Well, there it is. So as far as what would you say is the real like artistic statement? I know we talked about the theme of the album, but like artistically, what are you aiming to make people recognize?
That album should come with no filler.
Okay.
That's
a good policy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. I actually created a couple of signs that states no fast forwarding and no ghost writing. You know what I'm saying? They'll be attached to the album, but it's just that I want everybody to understand, as an artist, you have to be creative. I mean, and not mimicking. You should, an artist should have, when you see Picasso, you should know that's Picasso. Right. You know what I'm saying? When you hear Tchaikovsky, you know what I mean? You should know that's Tchaikovsky. When you read a good Tom Clancy novel, you know what I mean? You know it's written in his vein and stuff. Every artist should have his signature that separates him from the next artist.
Right. And
I think with this album, I'm sure with this album, that'll be duly noted, because I'm line for line, verse for verse, I put my time and my focus and my creative thought into bringing something that'll rock the world.
Well, there it is, y'all, and that's why we're here. Unique Access with Soren Baker, Big Trade E.
Third
you for coming
through. And stay ready for that Dirty OGs album. I got a group with the Dirty OGs. Myself, Corrupt from the Dog Pound, Weasel Loke from Pomona City Riders, and the Chill from Compton Most Wanted, along with Cocaine.
Yeah, man, Cocaine. What's up, man? Yeah, we appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, brother.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so.